my name is Mads, and today I will be tying a pike fly that is one of my favorite patterns. The pike fly is on a tube, and it's actually almost the same version of pike fly as the one that Robert caught his giant pike in Nørgaard on my rod, of course, and on my fly. So now I want to show you guys how to tie a fly that's very similar to that one. Normally when you tie pike flies on tube, you always see that you have a long tube behind to put up the hook. I actually, the last 2 years, has been experimenting a lot about doing a new type of pike fly fishing with the tube flies. You barely see the tube. I actually melt the tube before I start tying on it. So that means that the bucktail, which is going to be the first part of the fly, is going to be tied directly on the butt of the fly. After that, I use some big fly fiber and some more bucktail and some Flashabou Magnum, just to actually give it some volume and a little bit of brightness in the water as well. I want this to be a quite dark fly, but I still wanted to take out some of the light if I fish on very deep water. Then it's nice to have some almost glow in the dark or some mirror flash in the fly. So this fly, it fishes extremely well with a wiggle tail or a dragon tail behind the fly, but it's actually also really effective just without a tail, where you just either use a normal single hook or where you use a trailer rig. A rig that I have been working a lot on the last few years as well is actually this rig here. It looks very much like a normal bower rig. The difference is that I use the Arix XO universal hooks, which is a super strong hook, and I feel it gives me a little bit better hooking rate on the pikes. And on this rig that I show here, I have the fast attach or the fast snap for a tail. And instead of having a long wire leader, I'm not a big fan of wire leaders for big pike fishing. In the front here, you see that I have just a very short piece of wire with a little loop in the end. And this is actually making it, for me, much quicker to change the fly. Instead of having a long wire rig, where you have to use the loops and take off the whole fly and rig, I feel that it's much easier to just have a fast attach, take out the tube rig, and put it in the next tube fly. So I feel it's very easy to change fly. Plus it actually gives a really nice jerk effect on the fly. So you can actually, when you strip in a little bit more determined, you actually get a super nice movement of the fly where it jerks a little bit in the water. And I feel that that is one of the things that really makes this rig quite effective. So that is, it's something that I highly recommend to try out. One of the reasons why I tie the tubes or cut the tube so short is actually that I want to have the hook as close to the head as possible. I often see that the pikes either just nips at the tail, or they go up, turn, and then they attack from the head of the baitfish or of their prey. So that's why I like to have one hook that's quite short-shanked, close to the head, and then one hook that's quite far behind on the fly. I rarely see deep hookings with the trailer hook. A lot of people is afraid of that, but I think if you have the quite enough distance on the hook and the trailer hook, then I actually don't see those deep hookings. Then I feel it's a bit more effective. So that's the reason why I use a trailer hook.